Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trusty's Vintage Live Sale. And little rushed. If you joined me a little bit earlier, I was on Beth's channel, Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. She was kind enough to have me on her live sale, and I knew I was doing a double header. And she's like, "Oh, do we need to end?" I'm like, "No, I got plenty of time. I'm totally organized. I'm totally ready for my sale." That was a big fat lie. So I hung up with Beth, and I've been terrorizing around my house and leaping through the obstacle course that is now my living room with all of the Doxy donations that are everywhere. I think I need to get a picture. Somebody said, I was listening to a podcast, they said, made a comment like, your home is a reflection of your mental state, and I'm like, okay, then I'm screwed. So at this point, my mental state is a little crazy with the fundraiser, but we will be talking about that throughout because there's Dawn is in the chat. She is here. She is the mother of all dachshunds. Dawn coming in from Just One More Dachshund Rescue. Who has two more rescues coming up, I believe one tomorrow and another one over the weekend. So the fundraiser is coming up just in time for the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. And actually at Beth's sale that just ended, we ended up selling a number of items, and I raised $72 just in her sale specifically for the Doxies. And those were purchased by Reclaimed Treasures by Mary, bought one of them. Tammy Renee Walker bought one, and F4 Phantom Girl bought two items. So thank you to all of them. And then I will also have some Doxy items coming up tonight, which will be for the fundraiser. And we will be talking a lot about what's happening in 1 week, the big fundraiser. And we'll see how that progresses and how sane I will be by the time it is all over. So thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, of course, I've got my voice from above. I got Katie from Vintage and Vinyl, who's going to try and help me keep me on track, keep me sane. And already in the chat, we've got Soul Nate, who will be our moderator for the evening, coming in from New Zealand. If you're new to my channel, this is a first to claim only. I do not do offer ups. I do not do any auctions. Those will never occur on my live sales, but I do have an eBay store that we do have a handful of items currently listed on my eBay store that are ending tonight. Some of those are also Doxy fundraiser items, so I will highlight those. But Nate will be the final say. If you claim something in the live sale tonight, I will give you the item. I will tell you the price. That is the price you pay. And then I will tell you the number. You type in the number. The first person Nate sees is the person who claims. No debate, no argument. Nate controls all unless he gets the hamster dies and gets disconnected from the internet. Then Katie rules. But between the two of them, there's no debate beyond that. We're here to have fun because what am I not selling?
The Mona Lisa, folks.
I'm not selling the Mona Lisa. There's nothing here that you should get your panties in a twist about because we're just here to have fun. And hopefully you have fun and you just want to hang out. And we'll try and cover and sell as many different items, particularly as I'm bringing all these items in for the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. So if you're not familiar with the Just One More Dachshund Rescue, you clearly have not been paying attention to my channel for the last couple of weeks because all I'm talking about, hey, Scott, the Just One More Dachshund Rescue is a 501c3 organization based in Maryland. It happens to be run by a woman I used to work with. At the time we worked together, she did not run the rescue, but she had 5 dachshunds, so she was already on her way to being crazy. And then she went to number 6, number 7. She then started a sanctuary where she specializes in senior doxies. And she is doing the work. She's just doing amazing work. She really is. So she does have several senior doxies. There's one, unfortunately, it was going to the vet. It's possible that doxie will lose her eye. She's going to be bringing in a blind dachshund over the weekend. All of these dachshunds require medical care. Many of them require special food. Most of them require some special medication. It is thousands of dollars a month that is spent trying to maintain the rescue. So we started this last year. I've organized a fundraiser. We raised $3,500 last year, and this year our goal is to raise $5,000. The vintage community has definitely responded. I've been receiving so many great donations that I am selling. As I mentioned, the items I sold in Beth's sale earlier this evening, that's $72. That will go straight to the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. There's some items that are currently in eBay. I will showcase those. There will be more items going up tonight that will end during the fundraiser next week. So there's a couple things that are going on in advance, but the bulk of the fundraiser will be next Thursday. I will not have my regular sale. My entire sale next Thursday will be dedicated to the Doxies. So 100% of what I show and 100% of what I sell the proceeds will go to the fundraiser. There's a few things that are going to stretch beyond the 11th. One of them, so pardon me, Katie, while I send you into the ether.
No worries.
One of them is what's over my shoulder. If you have not followed my channel in the past, at the beginning of the summer, I was sending out basically geocaching boxes. I sent out 21 boxes, and with the instructions that you could send them to whoever you want. You get the box, you take something out, you put something back in, and then send it to somebody else. The only instruction was that it needed to come back to me in October so that I could resell them for the fundraiser. Well, 21 went out, only 9 have returned. So I went to the post office today, got one more, so I'm up to 9, but more than half of them are missing. So I'm going to hold on to these until more of these boxes show up. And so that will extend beyond the fundraiser next week, but that's fine. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. I just hope at some point they circle back. The post office is having, again, some shipping delays, so maybe nothing more than that. But for now, if you know where a Trusty Traveler box resides, please push that person to send it back. There was instructions with my address of where to ship it back in October. Maybe I should have been more specific and said the beginning of October. But regardless, at this point, all I can ask is that if people have forgotten about them or they, whatever, if you sent them to somebody recently, ask them if they've sent it on or if they can return it. At this point, I don't know where they are, so I have no way of calling. So, it's a group effort. If you know where some of those are, send it back. What is Scott asking?
Scott's got a question. He was wondering if he could donate something still to the dogs.
No, too late, Scott. You can't offer it. No, of course you can donate. I will take anything at any time. We'll chat afterwards. What most likely, I think people would really appreciate you donating one of the mystery boxes, because that was the biggest fundraiser portion last year. We will have sponsorships available. You can make a donation directly, cash donation. Anyone can make a donation to paypal.me/JOMDR. There are sponsorships available. I will be publishing all of that over the next week. The short version is, for every $5 in sponsorship amount that you give, you will receive a chance to win a set of mystery boxes. Last year, half of the money we raised were in the sponsorships, which went toward a chance to get a mystery box. We ended up having 35 mystery boxes, and one person won all 35 of them. This year, we thought that was, we needed to change that. There was a reason. We didn't know we'd have that many. So what we're doing this time is we will have more than one winner, and each winner will receive 5 boxes. And I will be pulling whose boxes you get as we pull the winners next week. So before November 11th, at any time before November 11th, donate to paypal.me/JOMDR. And for every $5 in sponsorships, you will get a chance to win these boxes. If you're in Canada, you will get the Canadian box. And so Scott will, if you donate one of the boxes, you'll just be one of I think we're at this point, we've got 36 or 37 resellers who have donated mystery boxes. We'll add Scott into the mix, and somebody will be lucky enough to win a Scott mystery box from the Old Curiosity Shop. And everything that I'm showing and everything that I'm selling, some of them are donated by me. I've been collecting over the year things that I thought would be good for the fundraiser, but so much of what is being sold has been donated. It's a little late for anyone to get me items to donate, because I already have tons, but 2, with the shipping as the way it is, the big event's in a week. So it's unlikely I'd be able to get it, process it, photograph it for eBay, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to support, do a sponsorship, participate in the fundraiser, purchase some of the items that are available. I'm being maybe a little bit more, there's a little bit more true to retail value of what I'm listing things for the fundraiser, because it's the fundraiser. So you're not getting necessarily Trusty prices on everything, but you're still going to get a good price. And just know that 100% of that goes to the fundraiser. So the items that are going to be ending in 49 minutes, there are 3 of them. 2 of them are items that the money will go to the Dachshunds. So one is, and I apologize, I'm not even kidding, they're somewhere in my house, probably under newspaper right now, because I can't walk through my living room without dying. So I have to show you pictures. I do apologize. These exist somewhere in my home. It is a 1934, The Book of Dogs by Rand McNally. This listing, Nate has dropped the links to these items. The listing does have all these pictures, but you can see some of the breeds that's showing. It is 100 breeds that were the official breeds of the American Kennel Club back in 1934. And 2 of the photographs show the index. So if you have a breed of choice, you can see if the breed was included. So we've got a bulldog is showing there. You got the Doxy is showing there. So that is currently listed, currently available. And as of this refreshed page, it is currently going for $10.
That is an amazing piece, Patrick.
It's a very cool piece. I love ephemera. And so it's a very cool piece that I think I felt it should go into the auction. Most of this stuff will just get sold as flat prices, but some of the more unique items I felt should go into auction. And this was one of them. This is a set of 6 mid-century modern atomic starburst style coasters that are made from West Germany. They're marked Bavarian. It's cathedral porcelain. You can see the design there has pink and green and gray. They are not all identical. Some of them have 2 pink or 2 greens and a pink. They're a little bit mixed, but there are photographs of each. There is the Maker's Mark, Cathedral, Bavaria, West Germany. And they're all in absolutely pristine condition. They have the platinum or at least silver tone rim to each of the coasters. And they have the original rosette felts, which they would have been sold with to separate the individual coasters so they don't chip. They're absolutely fantastic. That already has multiple bids. And I think they are currently going for $21.50. So those are currently listed. And then there is a third item that is already up for sale. This is a 19th century children's magazine.
Oh, the graphics.
St. Nicholas magazine is from September 1892. As we determined, what did we determine last week, Katie? It's St. Nicholas was the patron saint of children and what, murderers or something?
Wolves. It was wolves and gamblers, I think.
Pawnbrokers. It was like the weirdest
pawnbrokers and wolves.
Yes. And children. Yeah, because they're all completely related. Some beautiful illustrations in here. Some stories. You've got some great vintage ads. That's just what makes these.
That shoe ad is incredible.
I know, just all of these pieces. So this is also currently listed. And it also has bids on it.
Oh, yes. And sailors, Jennifer. That's it.
Oh, it's sailor. Like I said, there were 4. I just couldn't remember what it was. So this one currently has multiple bids on it and is currently going for $12.50. So those are the 3 items. The magazine is actually mine. Sorry, I do have my own bills to pay. So that's actually mine. The other 2 are for the Doxies. So I'm in the description of each auction. I'm very clear which ones are going for the Doxies in case, you're like, oh, okay, it's a fundraiser. I'll pay more. So that's what's going live now, or that's what's live now. Those will end at the top of the next hour. And then I have 5 more items that will list at the next hour. I was spreading them out because then those will all start tonight. They will all end during the live sale next week. So I tried to spread those out. So those I will showcase in a little bit. So I think I'm missing something, but we will figure this out. Here it is.
All of those are just amazing, Patrick. So definitely go check out the eBay links that's Nate's dropping in so you can get a chance to have one of those fabulous pieces.
Yeah, somebody must have been talking, or maybe I mentioned something about Scotty dogs. But yes, Scotty and FDR definitely go together because of Fala. So a lot of Scotty stuff. And there's some Scotty stuff that I have I'll showcase later that'll be included either in the sale or maybe it'll go up on eBay that are actually from the 30s, from the 40s, at the time, the height of Fallamania for the black Scotties. I actually sold a more contemporary version. I sold a Scotty ice cube maker, ice cube mold
Oh, that was fun.
at best sale earlier this evening. So that was purchased by Miss Patty from F4 Phantom Girl. She purchased that. And she purchased, along with that, she purchased a set of Doxy corn holders, which had been donated by Halem and by Melody. I don't know if they're in the chat, but
Melody's
there's Melody. So they donated one of the items that went into the lot. So thanks so much. I haven't said hi to people. So hi to Jan, Lucinda, hi Mickey, Tim coming in from Canada. So again, we're going to have Canadian resellers are donating the mystery boxes. So if you make a donation, which Tim from TFAN has already done, you get a chance to win that. So here's our Canadian giving us First Lady facts. Lou Hoover was the first to appear on the radio. Excellent.
That's very interesting, Tim.
So let's see. Jan, I think I said hi to. Susan Way coming in. Lucinda. Beth coming in from Texas. Jennifer Miller reminding us that the sailors, and along with the pawnbrokers and wolves.
And did you know that Martha Washington was the first woman to be featured on American currency?
No, I did
and
not.
Maybe
know that.
the only woman. She was on like a silver mint coin or something. I mean, it was not something that we normally would see in our everyday currency, but it was a specialty piece. And I learned that the other day, and I thought it was so fascinating.
That's very, and there was all kinds of little factoids. My daughter was fascinated by American history. We used to live outside DC, and just all of the the pets. The Coolidges had a pet raccoon named Rebecca.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's just like all these like really goofy facts that you can learn when you're trying to learn history through the eyes of a kid, because you're trying to make it interesting. So it's like, and then you find there's like illustrations and pictures of Rebecca like on the arm of Grace Coolidge in an evening gown. I mean, it's just this like really weird combo. But it is what it is. I mean, I think it was a gift from somebody, and it just, Teddy Roosevelt had all kinds of wild animals. I can't remember, was it Teddy Roosevelt? I can't remember who it was that like basically was the reason of the National Zoo, because all these like, bizarre animals kept getting donated into Washington, D.C., and they didn't have any place to put them. So, yes, so some crazy stuff. So I apologize. We're already so late in. I apologize if I missed. Mary purchased some items earlier this evening, so thanks, Mary. She picked up a lot of little golden books. I'll have I think I've got some books tonight that I will be including in the sale as well. So, thank you all. And thank you also to those who have donated. I apologize. I'm a little out of sorts just because I did rush from one sale to this one. So I apologize, try and keep things together and move on with the sale. We'll start.
Well, Nate and I will help you keep track.
I appreciate that. And starting out the sale the way I normally do, Karen's in the house, is we're starting with Maxi Pads.
Yay,
so,
mint and box.
You see the Maxi Pads, there's a mystery box coming. So as I typically have been doing, the first item in my live sale will be the mystery box. For those, hey Beth, so she's so tired. We were just joking about how tiring these sales can be. So I get to go through like 4 hours worth direct, but that's okay. We already raised $72 for the Doxies, and we're about to raise some more. So I appreciate it. So the mystery boxes will always include one vintage maxi pad, or at least will be included at least for the next few weeks. At some point, I'm going to run out. But for now, the mystery boxes will at least include this. I always give credit to Fatbird Finds for kind of standardizing, introducing these into vintage sales. So I do what they do. I just make them $15. Again, there are no offer ups. It's a $15 box. I will put between $25 and $30 into it, and I will pack it based on where you are. So if you're farther away, you might get a lighter weight box, but it'll still have the same value. If you're closer, I think the record was I shipped within the state of Illinois. I could have driven it to her. Actually, one I did drive. I think the heaviest I've shipped, I want to say it ended up being an 11 pound box. She received a China pattern. So you never know what you're going to get. So it's a $15 purchase. These are very popular, so I do them a little bit differently. These, instead of telling you the number, I make you guess. So I'll give you the range, and you can guess multiple times. So I'll tell you the range of where the number falls. You need to put the number in. You can hit enter and then hit another number. You can enter as many times as you want or guess as many times as you want. Nate knows the number. He'll be watching, and I will be issuing 2 winners for the first mystery box. So the first mystery box is the number that falls between 50 and 60. So pick a number between 50 and 60. The first 2 people that get the number right will receive that mystery box. And while we're waiting, I'll say hello to more people. So Cheryl's here. I might have said hi to Lucinda, but I can say hello again. Chrissy's Corner for Collectors has come back in. Tiger, of course, is here. Hope you enjoyed your trip to Germany. Let's see. Carrie coming in.
He did post some amazing photos.
There were some great shots. Absolutely. Some of the vintage stuff that he picked up was fantastic. Delbert's in the house. Our resident Buckeye here. Kim, the winner of the 35 mystery boxes last year. I think, I don't think there's any correlation to the fact she won 35 mystery boxes, then started a resale business right after that. But she did a great set of unboxing videos that showcased all the items that she received. And that was really nice for the people that had donated boxes, got a little extra exposure, as did the fundraiser, the Doxies. So that was good. Let's see.
And I've already seen the number twice in the chat, actually 3 times.
All right, as Nate, there we go. And Nate has identified it. So number was 50. So number 50 goes to Leanne. And I always have to do it in my head. Leanne C, because she's by the seashore. And Old Stuff Beth, Texas.
I finally got that down. Leanne C.
Is Leanne C and Susan Way. So
yeah,
we all have our ways of trying to keep track of everything. And so I just remember Seashore is Leanne C. So, okay. So Leanne and Beth, congratulations. You get the first batch of mystery boxes.
And those were right out of the gate. So great mental telepathy.
Oh, beautiful. All right. The next item I'll show is actually going to be an item that will be for the Doxies. So this one, if you've been watching my story, this has been in a box for quite some time. First of all, you might think it's from my collection. It is not, but I do have one identical to this. There's a story behind her. She is, I did not have a Bashful Charlotte. And so I ordered a Bashful Charlotte that had a photograph of a Bashful Charlotte in the photograph. What I received was this, which is the Draped Lady. And I kind of argued with the reseller for a little while. eBay had to get involved. In the end, I did get a credit, and then the reseller told me to keep it. Well, that to me turns into kind of a gift, and I feel weird about selling gifts. So what I've done, and this goes for people, I don't get friend mail that often, but in some cases, if I received a gift from somebody, if it's something that's not for my personal collection that I want, that I want, that sounds super selfish, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. If it's not something that I typically would bring into my personal collection on my own, it goes into the Doxy box. And so this has been sitting in the Doxy box because technically I got it for free. I didn't pay for it. So it goes in the Doxy box, and it is a Cambridge Draped Lady. There is a difference between the different style. There's September Morn, there is a Bashful Charlotte, and there's a Draped Lady. This one has the cloth is draped just across her front. So her rear end is still exposed. So this is the Cambridge version, the original Cambridge version without the ribbed base. If it's a ribbed base, it's a Summit or an Imperial replacement. This would have been from the 30s. It is fire polished seams. It is relatively bubble free. There's a couple in there, but it's still high quality. And there is a straw mark that goes across the front. But it's a beautiful piece. I have these, again, sitting up in my window. I have one of these. I'm selling it here, and I'm selling it for a fair price for something that you did not wake up this morning knowing that you needed a Draped Lady Flower Frog. So you can have the Draped Lady Flower Frog for only $30. So $30 for the Draped Lady. All of the money goes to the Doxies. $30 by giving me number 57. $30, 57 for the Draped Lady.
And she does. She looks like ice, Delbert. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the clear ones are not as valuable, and in some cases as desirable as the colored glass. But it goes with anything. It doesn't matter what your decor is. It's absolutely gorgeous. and will look good against any color wall. It looks good in a window. And when she captures the sun, she's going to sparkle, and it's a beautiful.
Which is just great. And that's why I love clear glasses. You can put it in with everything. I'm waiting for Nate. And yes, Chad Retro Days gets that flower frog. Great by there, Chad. And
what's also nice about the clear ones, and so this is a tip for Chad, because Chad has a vintage store of his own in Westminster, Maryland, that because of the clear, these usually would have a float bowl. They would have some sort of a console bowl that they would sit in. The clear console bowls are very reasonably priced. So you can get a gorgeous one. I picked up my console bowl. It's not even a Cambridge bowl, but she looks beautiful sitting in the middle of it, because you can get some great console bowls that not for a high price, because they're clear and people think, oh, clear is not desirable. Yeah, it is. And it looks fantastic at the holidays, because you can put anything you want in there and it will look fantastic.
I have a big collection of clear glass and I just can't get enough of it. I think it's stunning.
All right, the next item, because I did not plan properly, the pile is out of reach. So I'm reaching what I can reach, and then I'm going to have to get up and grab the rest. Thankfully, I'm wearing pants. The next item was a donation from 715 Vintage. So this I showed in a live haul a couple nights ago. I received literally a ginormous box. It was 18 by 18 by 24. It was so heavy, I could not lift it at all. And even when the woman that was helping me with it, she and I tried to lift together, we couldn't lift it. There was so much inside. This was one of the items. I showcased it. It is a West Bend ice bucket. You got the Penguin ice hot and cold server by West Bend. It's in great condition. These come up pretty regularly. I did get the tape off of this side. I actually forgot. I didn't finish getting the tape off of this side, but there is just packing tape. Probably whoever purchased this at 715 probably got it from a thrift store or something. So at some point it had been taped together, but you still have the high polish on the chrome, pretty good condition. There's some light surface scratches, but when you get to the edges, I mean, it's pretty much the mirror finish. Hey, look at how nasty the rest of my dining room table looks. And you've got the little penguins embossed all the way around. These sell fairly regularly. I first became aware of them from Jeffrey at Real Nifty Vintage. He'd always pick them up because they sell great online. But there are a lot listed online right now. So I said this one, I figured I'll just put it in as a regular purchase. And I'm putting in at what I felt was the average selling price for these. I do not know if this is the original, if it's old enough to be Bakelite. For Cheryl was just asking. I don't think it is. Let me try and smell. Everyone said I'm supposed to smell like formaldehyde. I've never been able to smell.
Yes, rub and sniff.
Yeah, no. Either I'm my degrees in chemistry, so maybe my nostrils have been burned out, but I don't know on the bottom. Yeah, I have no indication of how old this piece is, but they made these for quite some time. And I think
the handles look a little bit dark for Bakelite, in my opinion. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
As if the coloration and the way it's molded does make me feel like it's got a Bakelite feel, but I basically always will just say, I just don't know. It's just an area that I'm not confident in. And I'd hate to say that it is and then have it not be. I'd rather just say, I'm not sure. And then if it is, hey, yay. So these go, like I said, they sell fairly regularly without a description on the Bakelite. It's a standard form. So I was selling it for $30. Again, all $30, 100% of this will go to the Doxies. So $30 for the West Bend Penguin hot cold server, $30 by giving me number 54. $30, 54. So the sniff test is you're supposed to, okay, so Beth is saying I'm supposed to rub it. So let's just see how much I can embarrass myself. I have no idea.
It smells regularly.
I mean, basically what needs to happen is I need to be with somebody who guarantees me it's Bakelite, and then somebody shoved it up my nose. So I can wait, oh, that's what it smells like. Oh, okay, I get it. So
and I see Jane Smith.
Yep. So thank you so much, Jane, for picking that piece up.
What a wonderful little piece. Those penguins just make me so happy.
I know it's a great piece, and because it was made for so long, you can push it all the way back into the Deco era where it was Bakelite, but they were still popular going into like the Mad Men era, like going into the '60s. Like it covers a wide range, and what bar wouldn't look awesome with that sitting on it? All right, I need to like just step out of screen briefly because I forgot to grab the box.
And Nate is putting in Patrick's information. So, yes, if you do purchase anything tonight and you are new, make sure you send Patrick an email so we can get items out to you.
You get a hint as it goes by what's coming up.
Ooh, we got a swung vase.
Yep. I was supposed to show it last night in the duo dive. If anyone joined on Katie's channel, she and I host duo dives on Wednesdays, and last night was Katie's turn, and we had Fatbird finds. And we were talking swung glass, and I had a swung glass vase that I was going to sell here in the sale. So I had it sitting next to me the entire evening, and at no point did I ever think to pick it up and say, look.
I know, I had one too, Patrick, and then I didn't grab it out of my little cell stash. So I was kind of frustrated with myself.
And what I should have done, I wanted to list it. Actually, well, I can't. It's on the far side. I'll grab it in a second. But I wanted to show it because I was hoping people could help me identify it because I don't recognize the shape. So I'm just going to sell it as a swung glass and let people figure it out. So the next item was another donation. This also happens to be for the Doxies. This stuff just happened to be on top. So this was something also shown by donated by 715 Vintage in Batavia, Illinois, and I showed this in the live sale or the live haul. It is a Dalton pottery piece, and we did find some other pieces of Dalton that were available. It was a name that I wasn't familiar with. You know, looking at that type of glaze, I assumed it was going to be Hull, but it's just got that really sleek mid-century modern, that sexy swoop to the handle, and just a really decorative, shape to the ewer. It's got the glaze on the inside and the outside. You can use it as a bud vase or make it simply decorative. Look great against a wood, any sort of dark wood grain you've got in your home. So this is the Dalton pottery piece. We did find some other examples. It's an American pottery company. It didn't seem to have any particular, good or bad. It just kind of things went for like an average price. So I pulled out an average selling price of $15. So $15 for the Dalton pottery ewer, $15 for the sexy swoop melody, $15 by giving me number 86. And again, all $15 donated to the Doxies. Just one more Dachshund rescue. And Dawn is saying that that her grandparents had the Dalton vases. I didn't think to look where Dalton is from. I think Dawn's also from the Midwest. So I don't know if this is a Midwest thing or if that is where Dalton was based.
I looked up Dalton and I couldn't find that particular Dalton. There is still a Dalton being made, but I don't believe that it is the same Dalton. So I'm not exactly sure where they're from, but it's a beautiful glaze. And Chris Bright is picking up number 86. So thank you so much, Chris.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris, for picking that up. All right. Next item is not for the Doxies. Next week will all be Doxies. Right now we're intermixing because I had to go 2 weeks last month without having a sale. So I'm trying to balance my own, got bills to pay. So this is an item I had showcased. Pretty sure I showcased this in a haul video, if I remember correctly. And I can't remember if Katie had commented on this one. But it is
lovely.
I don't know if what you would consider this. Is this is it a meteor? Is it a
I would say like a shooting star.
Like what would that pattern be called?
I mean, I would call that a shooting star, but it's very mid-century, very atomic. Yes. I mean, I would assume that is something from the 50s.
I assume as well. It is not marked, so there's no information on it. It does have the older style C clasp, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I don't think.
Is it riveted, Patrick, on the back?
No.
Okay, yes, it is. It's the clasps itself is riveted to the back. So yes, I would consider that 50s construction.
Okay, there you go. In great condition. We did, again, it was a duo dive that Katie and I did with Nancy from This Overstuffed House. Make sure you join her sale later tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern. One of the biggest things that I learned from her was something that you recognize, but I didn't necessarily understand. This does not have any dead stones. And she talked about that is when you've got a set like this that's definitely the same stone all the way around. In some cases, the foil backing on these gets tarnished and the stone looks darker. And so what was nice when I found this one, I'm like, oh, look, there are no dead stones. You know, that's like my entire knowledge of that. That's the only thing I took away from the deep dive. And they are prong set. So that was another thing I took away, is that the clear ones are prong set, and you can see the blue is prong set as well. So it's an absolutely gorgeous piece. It's pierced into the metal. It's very, very lightweight. I'm not sure it'll hopefully you can kind of see there. It's very thin. So this is a very lightweight brooch.
Which is nice if you don't want to pull down your shirt.
That's exactly it. Some of them, when you've got the little blouse. Oh, there's Nancy. Oh, no, she's not having a sale. She's having a 2-hour live sort with me. Okay, well, that can be fun. So you've got the brooch. Yeah, I did learn something, Nancy. So you got the brooch, and it is only $12. $12 for the shooting star brooch. $12 giving me $87. $12.87 for the shooting star brooch.
That is so great, Patrick. I have to say that's a really fabulous piece. And again, nice and perfect for a small lapel or a jacket or something. And so mid-century.
I'm trying to decide, is Cheryl saying that the shape is from the Honeymooners? Or are you saying I remind you of Jackie Gleason? In which case I might be offended.
And that was a popular brooch, and I knew it would be. So 87 is going to Kara at the Kitschy Corner. So congrats, Kara. Great pickup.
Excellent. I always like when I can find stuff like that and know that there will be people that want to give it a good home. So thank you so much, Kara, for picking that up. And Kara actually sent me the newest batch of recipe cards, which Yay. I will show later. Because the recipe cards are going up on eBay in about an hour. So I will showcase those in a little bit. But Kara actually sent some and just added those to the list. All right.
Fabulous.
Next item. This is another item for the Dachshunds. This was another item. Yes, this was another item that was donated by 715 Vintage in Batavia, Illinois. Contemporary piece. We're not getting into vintage, but we're definitely getting into the dog lover world of fame here. Dog hair, both a condiment and a fashion accessory. And I used to have a Basset Hound, so amen to that, Ed Earl, because you got dog hair everywhere. Probably less so now because dogs are, their coats are getting ready for the winter. Although in Florida, I don't know if your dogs are ever if Louie ever gets her coat ready for the winter. So I don't know how much.
No, I think she sheds all year round.
If she shed all year round, yeah, that's the downside. The Basset used to shed the most spring going into summer, and it was just, I'm sorry, disgusting. But dog hair, both a condiment and a fashion accessory, is just a wall plaque. There isn't anything on here, and it doesn't look like there ever was anything on here to hang it. So just a command strip would do it. But it's dimensional. I mean, it's a board. So I don't think it was ever designed to be framed either. So I don't know if you just like lean it up against it, put it in a little frame holder or just lean it up against something. I'm not sure how this originally would have been sold to be hung, but it would be easy enough to hang. So you get the dog hair, contemporary, modern, funny sign, $10. So $10, again, all of this going to the Doxy fundraiser. $10 by giving me number 63. $10.63 for the dog hair sign.
That is hilarious. I always say that Louie has lots of pug glitter all over my apartment.
So is it that pugs shed year round, or is it because you're in Florida does she shed year round?
I think it's just a pug thing, because I see on the pug groups from all over the world that pugs just seem to shed. And there's always all this talk about getting a special vacuum attachment for your little brush, your slicker brush, or your Furminator that will actually like suck up all the hair. But I mean, I can't keep up with the amount of hair that's all over my apartment. I have to vacuum like 3 times a day.
Well, when we had the Basset, we had the Dyson. So that was kind of the way they marketed it, because there wasn't anything to get clogged by all that hair. So the canister that you had to empty was kind of disgusting, but it did work.
Yes.
And at the time we had the Bassett, I don't think we had hardwood floors at all. So I think it was all in carpet. And so it did have the beater brush and stuff. So it worked. I will say the Dyson, we used it hard. But it was a good investment.
I have a Dyson and I could not live without it. It just does wonders with Louie's hair.
Oh, so Dana's talking about the Furminator.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And Dawn is asking to see number 63 again. So that was it's probably, let's see, it's 8x10. So if you wanted to frame it, it would be a standard size frame. So it's 8x10. I can't imagine what Dawn must go through, because I think she's got 20 dogs right now, and Dachshund shed. So I can't imagine, like, that'd be like, wading through the fur as you walk by.
Well, as I empty my vacuum cleaner every week, I always say, Louie, I can make a whole nother dog out of this.
Excellent. All right. Well, I've got Katie on the channel. So, of course, I'm going to talk about vintage vinyl. So this one, I had picked up a lot of these from an estate sale, and there were a lot of them are children's records. So this one is the paper sleeve for Hi Ho, What's the Weather? Weather poems, weather sounds, and weather songs to sing. All right, so let's see. Can anyone guess some weather songs to sing? And I see Dawn is picking
go away.
Dawn is picking up the dog hair.
Yes, she gets number 63.
All right, thank you, Dawn, for picking that up. All right, what was your guess?
Rain, rain, go away. I don't know the official.
Is that the one that's it's raining, it's pouring? I don't see rain, rain, go away, but I'm wondering if it goes by another name. All right, we got Itsy Bitsy Spider.
It might be.
All right, let's see. So we've got It's Raining, and it starts out, It's Raining, It's Pouring. Oh, it's raining.
Yes, Nate.
Let's go back to the children's record. So Long as There's Weather by Tamara Kitt, Rain by Robert Louis Stevenson, Weather by Eve Merriam, Spring Rain by Marchette Chute, Inky Dinky Spider.
Oh, that one I've never heard of.
Yeah, well, it's the same. I think in the chat they called it Itsy Bitsy. So this is Inky Dinky Spider went up the water spout. So I don't know in what region it's Inky Dinky versus Itsy Bitsy. I think I learned Itsy Bitsy. The Sun by John Drinkwater, In August by Marchette Chute, Summertime by Lee Blair, Ice Cream Man.
Summertime was good.
Foghorns, Who Has Seen the Wind, Wind Song, The North Wind, Snowflakes, The More It Snows, A Lovely Long Drink. Somebody snuck that one in. And
that's for the adults.
Understanding. And that's funny because they list the first part of the lyrics. So A Lovely Long Drink is there isn't a happier, springier sound than what, a shot of whiskey. So anyway, so we've got Hi Ho, What's the Weather? It's a Scholastic, has a zip code, copyrighted. Copyright 1977. So the record is 1977, but on the back, the individual songs are copyrighted mostly within the 60s and then 1970.
Now, I don't know if that one, Rain, Rain, Go Away, Come Again Another Day, is the same as the other one. I'm curious to find that out.
So it's like, it's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Something. So no, that must be a different one. I didn't know if that was like a different part of the lyric, but that must be a different one.
Yeah, I think it's a different song.
So we've got this is Scholastic Records, 1977. Cool graphics. Hi Ho, What's the Weather? Again, I do not know if it's playable, but it
looks good.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks really good condition.
I mean, I would grade that to be a mint.
And this has the smaller hole in the middle, which makes it a 33 1/3. So it's it's the size of a 45, but it's a 33 1/3. That's one of the biggest things I learned from
record player.
I always thought these were 45s until I met Katie.
I'm glad I could teach that.
There we go. Maybe the only thing I've ever learned, but there we go. And then what did you call these, Katie?
Now these are flexi discs.
Flexi discs.
And that one probably came, it's a gift record. So that would have been a giveaway inside of a magazine.
Okay. And it does have like something here it's got kind of like the remnants of like glue or something. So yeah, it may have been glued to a page or
Probably
something.
Time Life or one of those
That
magazines.
makes sense that it was glued in. I couldn't figure out what that would have been from. So yeah, that was probably glued into something. It's another Scholastic record, so it's another one for kids. It's their Weston Woods division. So this one was from 1971. So a story book published. So I think this one I think is actually like more like an audio book. I think it's the recording of the reading of the book. So it's a story by Gail Haley. And then, oh yeah, and so that was the book which won the Caldecott Award. And pop quiz, anyone know what the Caldecott Award is awarded for?
It's usually got the medal for the best books, isn't it?
Not the Caldecott. The Newbery is best
Oh,
book.
Newbery. Okay,
The
yeah.
Newbery is the best book. The Caldecott's awarded the same day. It's
And is that the
ridiculous that I know this, but it's because I'm usually
silver?
there when it's awarded. Caldecott is awarded for illustrations.
Oh, illustrations. Okay. Is that the silver or the gold one?
I think they're still gold because I think
Okay.
it just has a different image on it. So the Caldecott is always going to be a picture book or some. There you go. And Beth and Jennifer and Jerry all got it for illustrations. So I don't think the color change is just the design. I can't remember what the pictures themselves are, like what is embossed on it. But Caldecott typically, it's not like graphic novels because they tend to be for kids' books. So this must have been a kid's book a picture book, a story. And the reason I'm saying all this is because on the back is her acceptance speech for winning the Caldecott Award for this book. So it's just kind of a weird little lot. I just think the fact that this is flexible, whether you cut it out, I think you can cut out the rest of the circle to just make it a disc. Katie, avert your ears. But you can put this flat and put stuff on it. I think it would just be a very cool underplate for just like a kid's design or in a kid's room. And you got some cool art, for like a spring vignette, April showers, bring May flowers, whatever you want to do. So we've got the 2 records are available as a lot for $7. So $7 for the 2 children's records, $7 by giving me number 8. $7, number 8 for the records.
And I have one of those flexi discs that actually has the moon landing on it. So it's got
cool
from that, which is awesome. So they did a lot of historical documentations on those records. And if you're having trouble playing them, you can always put a penny or a quarter or something to balance it out on the flexi disc itself, and it will help it play. Yes, you
can anything into a coaster. Absolutely.
Which I can't believe I'm saying for a vinyl record. But those flexi discs, it
was a giveaway. It's different.
So those are different.
Yeah, that was different. All right. And so somebody was asking. We've got basically 10 minutes before the items end. And I do apologize. I usually like to have them with me, and I just forgot to grab them. So the antique dog book is still going for $10. The set of mid-century modern Starburst coasters is currently at $28. And the antique 19th century children's magazine is currently at $12.50. So those are the 3 items that will be ending in 10 minutes.
Fantastic.
All right. So the next item and this is just something that I just like picking it up. I always look for it, and I love digging through the boxes. I love ephemera, and I find some really weird ephemera. So this one is another little journal. I find these a lot. I love these. They just, slide into a pocket, gentleman's pocket back in the day. This is from a company that made copper paint for vessels. I'm not sure if that's a sentence. Copper paint for vessels bottoms. I'm not sure how that grammatically works.
I don't know. Maybe vessels.
I don't know if there was a comma maybe there, because maybe it's copper paint for vessels, bottoms, and marine paint specialties.
So or maybe they're the vessels bottoms.
I don't know. So anyway, maybe the apostrophe is supposed to be in there. Anyway, C.A. Woolsey Paint and Color Company out of Jersey City, New Jersey. It has the same thing on the backside, but that must have been the one that rubbed up against the gentleman's jacket because it's harder to read. but it's still paint and color company, but the top of it's illegible. But when you open it up, you've got notes. Like these are just little time capsules that I love. This guy, I'm assuming a guy, took all these notes, measurements, things from his day. They've got the marine specialties. There's some great ads. Check out that illustration for the marine specialties. I hate to see things like this cut apart, but man, that in just a tiny little 4x4 frame would look so cool in a hallway. It's just a cool illustration. It is from, and these are also great because they're so easy to date. It's got a 1908, 1909 calendar in it. So this is over 100 years old. These notes are probably over 100 years old. You've got an ad for varnish, for house, carriage, railway, and piano work.
Amazing.
A full line of varnishes for house, carriage, railway, and piano work, right for descriptive lists and prices. Woolsey's varnishes, Japan's, etc. Japan's has the black lacquer, so like they used to sell that. Best spar varnish. I actually don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Katie?
I think spar, when you talk about that, is part of wood. And I've seen spar varnish before. I think it's still made, but I don't remember exactly its
I've heard of it. I just don't know what it is.
I can't place it.
Copper yacht paint. So again, all this is from 1909. Talking about domestic postage to Cuba and Hawaii before Hawaii was a state. And then in the middle is still the notebook. So he had some sort of tally system going in here. I have no idea what he was trying to tally.
I think spar is for boats.
Okay. And some of the pages are still blank. So you could actually use this as your own little notebook. So it is a 1908 little ads, little notebook, little calendar, whatever just for a great piece for your ephemeral. It's rigid, so it'd be great for an ephemeral because it would actually help hold up other items in front of it. And it's only $5. So $5 for the Woolsey paint journal from 1909. $5. By giving me number 74. $5.74 for the Woolsey journal.
That is incredible, Patrick. The graphics are to die for in that. And just an amazing piece of history from 1908. Wow.
I know. I love when I find that. I love it when it's got the calendar in it because I know exactly how old it is. And it's just a cool little piece. And I just love them. And it's just, but I can't keep them all. So
I know. I
have to force myself to sell them. Absolutely.
And Karen Dondelinger is picking up number 74. I just Googled spar varnish because it was driving me crazy and I knew I had seen it before. And yes, it's marine varnish. Ooh, I'm sorry. I thought my phone was off. And there we go, getting a call. But yes, it's marine varnish for boats and that kind of stuff. Which no wonder because I don't ever use that since I don't build boats.
All right. My next item I showcased in a haul video from my trip to upstate New York. And I ended up selling all of these as a result of the video. And that's a tip for any of the resellers that are out there. If we do haul videos or whatever, however we do it, unboxing, whatever, if you see it, I would say probably all of us, if not all, at least most, you can buy directly from there. Because I've had people comment saying, "Oh, I missed your live sale. Oh, I so wish I would have seen that. I would have bought it." It's like, well, but I did it in a haul video 2 weeks earlier. So you can buy directly from haul videos. And this is the one last remaining piece. And I do know why it's remaining because I did ask for more for this than for some of the others, because this is a tin type and it is in its cardboard, but it's like starting to slide out of it. You can see it's rigid. And I had to do a little bit of digging into this because I was not familiar with tin types. And I wasn't familiar with the fact that this seemed like it was a piece of metal, tin. And as I did a little bit of digging and talked to some of the resellers, they helped fill me in that these ended up being very popular late 19th century, early 20th century, because they were really inexpensive. A lot of people could actually get them, definitely in the middle class. And even like for tourist items, as they progressed, it was just a cheaper way of making photographs. And it was a single photograph. You didn't have duplicates or anything like that. So it was like the Polaroid of their time. I had never seen one outside of a case or a frame. This one has a cardboard matting. I don't know if it would originally been in some sort of a frame as well. I'm assuming it would have been some sort of frame as well. But it is the image of two women in a companionship pose, and because of that, it has and the reason I picked this one up, it has the added attraction, the added value of being something that would be popular in the LGBT community. So it's definitely look at the sleeves on her dress. I mean, we're definitely in early 1900s, if not the late 19th century, because I can't quite tell if she's got a bustle on her. But those big leg of mutton sleeves, you're definitely in that era. And just the pose is just a very sweet pose of two women embracing. Maybe they're sisters, whatever it may be. Cute piece. The rest of them I sold, most of them, the loose ones I sold for $5 each. This one I'm selling for $10. So this one is $10 for the tin type of the two ladies in the cardboard frame, $10. And you can have that by giving me number 89. $10, 89 for the female tin type.
And Dana, I agree. I think tin types are becoming a little harder to find, and they're just a really, really amazing.
So Helen is asking if it's mother-daughter. Now, I looked at them and felt they looked the same age, but I see what she's saying. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, she looks shorter. The girl, she could be.
I mean, she's kind of hunched over. I just saw that she was hunched in a lower chair because that other chair is very high. Her dress does not touch the floor. She's in a stool. And so she's on something very high. Otherwise, her dress would definitely, if she's in a chair, her dress would definitely drape onto the floor. So she's in something taller and the other woman is not. So maybe it's mother and daughter. I have no idea. But regardless, it's $10.
It's instant family, and
instant relatives.
89 is going to Thrifting in the Holler, Mickey. So thank you so much, Mickey.
Thank you, Mickey, for picking that up. Yeah, and I found there are others. Most of them were just individual ones. So those I did for $5. That one I just thought was super sweet, and it still had its frame. So I thought that was worth a little bit more. So I'm glad someone else agreed with me and picked that up. All right. The next one, if you follow my Instagram page, this is probably one of the most notorious items I have ever picked up because it started an argument.
Oh, the candy corn insulator.
Yes. So we have the candy corn insulator. As I joked about when this first became an issue, someone was trying to be helpful on my Instagram channel. And as I said, he needs to take a dance class because he needs to learn how to express himself. He was rude. And a couple people took him to task for being rude. And then somebody else stepped in and said, okay, maybe that guy's being a jerk, but here's the deal. So what the deal is, see if I can find it. Made in USA. Oh, there it is. Okay. So on this, it says right on the side, this is a Hemingway insulator. Now, if you joined my deep dive several months back, I had Harry Humstone was on talking about insulators, and he talked about Hemingway and pretty much said that Hemingway insulators are not particularly valuable. They're extremely common because they were an American manufacturer. They did a good job, but you go through these pretty quickly. You come across them a lot, but to always be on the lookout for special colors. And if you're ever on the lookout for insulators, you'll see a lot of clear. Sometimes you'll see like the bluish green color. You'll see some like basic colors. You see a lot. Well, then I came across this and I'm like, ooh, that seems pretty cool. I want to pick that up because I have never seen that color before. So I picked it up, specifically tagged Harry saying, okay, Harry, what did I find? Like, this is something I couldn't find another example of it. What did I find? And so the individual that was maybe a little bit rude was commenting that this is not something Hemingway ever would have sold, or they would have not have manufactured, that this started life as a clear insulator. And then somebody purchased it, treated it to get the candy corn color, and then crackled it, heated it, and then chilled it so that it got the crackle effect. This was all done as an aftermarket. Because it's aftermarket, a true Hemingway collector would not see value in this because this is not an OEM. It's not an original equipment manufacturer design. This is an aftermarket, so it's kind of like somebody bought a Ford Thunderbird and then like jacked up the tires. So, but as other people weighed in saying, but who cares? Most people don't collect insulators. This is freaking cool. So I have no regrets picking it up. It's not as valuable as I'd hoped, but it's one of those cases. I started finding them on eBay in other colors. I never found this color, which I thought this was amberino when I bought it. So it's definitely what it's trying to replicate. They had some in blues. They had some in greens. They had other colors. So I kind of got an idea of what they were selling for. And so I'm selling it as a decorative item. It may not be an original Hemingway, but who cares? Who wants a Hemingway insulator? Who's going to decorate with that? You'll definitely decorate with that. And if you find the right stand, it is a candle holder. So you get a ring stand, sets right in there. You got yourself a candle holder. So it's a gorgeous piece. Absolutely. I just think it's beautiful. I did pay up for it because I thought it was something more than it really was, but whatever. So based on what other things the other colors were selling for, even though I couldn't find this one, I came up with basically the average price, and it is $18. So $18 and one of my viewers dubbed it the candy cane insulator, and I absolutely thought that was perfect. Or not candy cane, candy corn insulator. So the candy corn insulator is $18, and you can have it by giving me number 64. $18, 64.
Yes, and I think this would just be great if you want to turn it into a light as well. And I've seen people do that with the insulators, and I think it's just an amazing little conversion. But I mean, for Thanksgiving, I mean, it's just perfect fall colors. It's really unique, and it's something you're probably not going to run into that often.
I think, and Dana asked what is absolutely a very valid question, saying, why would anyone go to the trouble to do that? And really, it ends up being the difference between a true vintage reseller and someone who's selling vintage as decor. And I'm not judging one way or another, but I've been in multiple vendor malls and antique malls that kind of spread that line. You can pick up clear insulators in bulk for under $1 a piece.
Yeah.
So, and if I were still in my vintage store, this would probably be listed. I would probably be having this on the shelf, probably for $30 to $35. So if I wanted to buy a box of these, and I don't know how you do this, but to turn around $1 worth of item to maybe a $30 item for maybe a little bit of work, and I could do it in bulk, and I could buy, have 50 of these. That's why people do it. And if you go into eBay, you see, like, eBay shows you the sold comps for the last 90 days. There were dozens of these, just not this color, but you could see the same effect. So I think it's really just, if you can make money doing it, buy low, sell high, it's basically, you've turned it into an art project. And again, you turn that, or a lamp would even be more fantastic. But I don't think the average DIYer couldn't do a lamp. But an average DIYer could turn this into a candle holder with very little effort.
Absolutely. And number 64 is going to Don Schunkweiler.
Excellent.
So great pickup. And yes, I think it does boil down to just being something decorative that you can create a craft out of and then sell to make it more unique, since you do see those clear insulators a lot.
Right. And it does still say Hemingway. So it's one of those cases like, is that, and I mean, I know a lot of, Beth does crafts, and there's a lot of creators that are doing that in different levels, that it's, at what point are you saying, well, that's cheating, or well, it's not, it's just turning something that's relatively plain into something that's more, it's really kind of saving it, because otherwise all those glass insulators, the clear ones, eventually they're going to end up in a landfill somewhere. Absolutely. Or in a recycling bin, because they really have no value, because again, no one wants clear glass. So it's a balancing act. And I mean, what I liked about it, and the whole reason I love the vintage community, I learned a lot. I learned from Harry's, doing Harry's when he did the deep dive. And then I went out in the field to try and apply his deep dive. I applied it wrong. I kind of got it wrong, but it was one of those cases where it was still, I learned from the process, and I still ended up having something that, even though I tend to stay just with vintage, it's still a beautiful piece. And,
there was several people wanting it.
Absolutely. So I'm glad, it's one of those, it's a cool vintage piece that maybe has a new life because somebody turned it into something that just looks cool. So yes, Lucinda, it was. I'm not exactly. I truly don't know how, but it
Yeah,
was
I
somehow
don't either.
treated to create that color. Like it's not painted. Like it's not. I don't know what they did, but it's not. I mean, I tried it. You can't flake it off, so I have no idea how they did it.
And I've seen uranium ones. You know, that was the biggest thing
Oh,
when I first started collecting insulators is I was really curious, okay, are those uranium ones legit? And they're not, but it's people taking uranium glass and melting them down to create these like cool looking insulators. And they're out there, but you know, they're not they're adding value to it. Like Nate was just saying into the chat, because otherwise those clear insulators would be, you know, not worth a whole lot. So it is kind of cool just to have something that's creative and special.
all right. So Chad is announcing that he won the
Yay!
coasters. So congratulations, Chad. So he is providing $29 for the set of mid-century modern coasters that just ended a few minutes ago. So thank you, Chad, for picking up those. Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Girl, the other Katie, I don't know if she's in the chat, but it will be receiving the antique dog book, The 100 Breeds from 1934. She picked that up. And the person who got the antique children's magazine, it starts with SHEF. It's not a name that I recognize, but
I
sometimes
don't
people's
recognize that.
eBay names sometimes are different. So if you happen to have your eBay name starts with SHEF, you're the winner of that. And the only reason it's relevant is if you then also purchased anything from my sale with Beth, or you're purchasing anything tonight, like in Chad's case, if you buy anything tonight, I'll combine for shipping because you've already paid the shipping for what you're buying from eBay. That probably will cover the bulk of the shipping for whatever else I send you. So definitely a perk if you want to multiple
And
purchase.
Katie is in the chat. She said she won the dog book. So
Hey, Katie, thanks
congratulations,
for picking
guys.
up. Thanks for picking up the dog book. And then what just went live. Okay, so then what is currently live? There's a couple things going live over the next half an hour. So I'm, just enough to drive Nate crazy.
He's
So
got more links to put in, but you can do it, Nate.
yeah, so the two items that are live right now. So I had two items go live at 8. Two items that I think go live at 8:15. Another one at 8:30. So these were a donation by. At some point, I need to write this down. These were a donation by Debbie from Chicago.
Oh, look at those copper lucite candlesticks.
So these are the acrylic lucite candlesticks there's a pair of them, in Stengel Granada gold, AOG, all over gold candlestick holders. So we've got the pair of copper or gold. I'm starting to lean toward Katie. She was saying that these were copper, but they look great against the gold. So
They
because the
certainly
gold
do.
kind of has the two-tone, because there's kind of that brush effect with the Granada design. So you've got, but they are lucite or acrylic. I can't say that they're lucite because I don't know how to tell the difference, but
Those would be considered lucite.
they're decorative, so you do not light them, but they do have the wick. So you've got the wick is in great condition. And then they are marked. I didn't look them up, but it says specifically decorative only, do not ignite. They're Gregorian Incorporated is who made the actual candlesticks. So Halem is clarifying Melody thinks they're also copper. So copper flecks inside, but they do still look, and these were donated together. Debbie from Chicago donated them as a set. So these are currently live. So that is one of the items that is up currently for the fundraiser.
And lucite was just kind of the brand name that was invented in 1931 by the DuPont Corporation. Acrylic is kind of not the trade name, but it's just the secondary. But lucite is the official brand name, if you want to call it that.
Okay, and I have a feeling that Katie will be one of the few people that gets this. But what do you think of when you hear of lucite when it ties to Friends?
Oh, that's a good. Oh, yes, that episode.
You remember?
Yep, but that episode, I can picture part of it.
So Joey gets his first acting gig, and he goes crazy, and he starts buying all this decor.
Yep.
And and he gets his credit card. There's two parts of that I remember. He gets his credit card statement, and his credit card statement is statement 1 of 2.
Yep.
He has 2. It's so long that they had to send it as 2 separate things. And when they're reviewing the purchases that he made a dog statue. Yep, that was 1.
But he gets the parrot too.
But yep, and the purchase they're listing the stores, and one of the stores, and I don't remember what item came from it, but one of the stores was "I love lucite." That's all I remember.
Was it the parrot or was it?
I don't remember what was actually. I'm sure something was lucite. The dog wasn't. The dog I think was ceramic.
And that's the only thing they kept was the dog.
Yeah, because they rode it into the apartment when they changed apartments. Like it was a big deal. And yeah, you're right. That was the one thing because it cost $300. Oh, I don't remember this. They cost $300, and so somebody paid for it so he could keep one thing. And Tim remembered. I remember the store's name. I love lucite. Yep. So yeah, that's just one of those weird. Oh, did they have a hand chair? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think they had a hand chair. I remember the parrot and the multicolored because Ross comes in and he says, "How much to save the bird?" And the guy's like $1,000.
Oh, like, right.
How about the dog? And they're like 300. He's like, "Okay, I'll take the dog."
That's right.
And then Joey's like, "I don't really like the dog that much." And then he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be grateful. Thank you."
The things we remember. All right, and so the other, let me just verify I didn't mess this up because I think there's two items that just went live. Yeah, this is the other one. So I don't quite have 19th century ephemera. I have turn of the century ephemera. So this has also gone live. This is the Pearson's catalog from 1901. This is the January 1901 issue, the first magazine of the new century. And it is the special holiday number, volume 11, number 61. It was a 10-cent catalog, or it's a 10-cent magazine. So it's got some condition issues, and I tried to do a really good job of photographing this to just make sure there's no question. The spine is intact, but the back page has lifted off of it. And the back page has some pretty cool ads to it. So you've got Coilers, Cocoa and Chocolate, Fragrant Grain Fields, Vose Pianos, Don't Cough. That's like that. There we go. We got the COVID ad. And then the inside cover, Long Life Soap, BT Babbitt's Best. So that unfortunately has some damage to it. So I'm going to set that aside so I don't make any more damage. But you can see it is still stapled at the spine. So the rest of it is in place. You've got a full page ad for the Prudential, the Strength of Gibraltar. Who remembers that, the Gibraltar thing used to be part of their ads?
Yep, I remember
it's still
that.
in their logo, but they don't talk about it anymore. Most people wouldn't know where Gibraltar was, and that used to be a big part of their ads. It's basically another treasure trove of ads. So you've got Solar House Lights, Chicago's best morning newspaper, Swoboda System. Oh, that was one of my favorites. The Opium ad.
Oh, look at that.
Morphine and laudanum. There were a couple others in that one. Yeah, here it is. Because there was another opium ad because right off of it was the morphine ad.
That is just bizarre and cool.
Sleep well remedies, hay fever, consumption, asthma, catarrh. Take opium. The Sleep Well Company. Saturday night, free reading. Got Schweier's Pure 8-year-old Pennsylvania Rye. That's what Melody and Halem have hiding out in their medicine.
So rye and opium together in one.
Yeah, so we got the nice Pennsylvania whiskey. Let's see. I took some snapshots, but you only take 12 photos, so I didn't get all of them. Check out the Edison Records ad.
Oh man,
isn't that gorgeous?
Cool. Oh,
genuine Edison phonographs. Fifth Avenue, New York City.
Oh man,
I thought this was fun. They received 9 World's Fair medals. If you check the triptych on World's Fairs, that was a big deal. When you won something, you advertised you won a World's Fair medal.
That is fantastic.
And so there are some great ads, primarily in the back and in the front, but they do have then articles with illustrations throughout. So this one, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it here. You will not see the like of these 6 diamonds in New York again for some years. So I guess they're at a jewelry store.
I think so. It looks like they're buying
So
rainbow.
that one was, they're all like little stories. Some of them are just poems. So that one was a story called, I guess she's getting engaged maybe. When the old century was new. So that was that story, when the old century was new. There are a couple of interesting ones in here that I did highlight because there could be people that would like it and some people that may not like it. Let me find the table of contents. There's an ad for Crown pianos.
Oh my goodness.
Wish my vertical grand looked like that.
That is stunning.
So let's see. Let me find the table of contents, because like you have all these ads, then the table of contents. So you have an article called "The Little Black Angel," and another one, "The American Slave," which is about Frederick Douglass. So there are some illustrations that could be considered questionable, so I'm not going to show them. But it's a 1901 issue. I mean, it is its history. So I truly don't feel that they are negative portrayals, but they are illustrations, and you could question, well, this one, I mean, this is probably the moderate one that, some people may not like that representation, but it is trying to be a realistic illustration. So of the Black Angel. So you've got some illustrations for that, and then the illustrations of Frederick Douglass. This is this is the mud baths article, but that man is clothed that's sitting in the bath. So I'm not exactly sure what the proper bathing process was when you were being bathed by somebody else, but I guess you wore your clothes. So there's poems. Here's the one. There's like the illustration of Frederick Douglass. Very tastefully done, nice full page. A lot of these are suitable for framing. So that is live right now. And then I babbled long enough that something else should have just gone live. So hold on. Let me see. I can't remember what order I listed everything. So the other thing that went live was the recipe book and the bookend. All right. So the recipe box. This is what I mentioned earlier. This is the box. Very simple, probably 80s, 90s, not super, super old. Somebody painted it with the veggies on it. I'm in the process of trying to fill it. Well, there's more than that, but I took them out for the picture, so I forgot to put them back in. I'm trying to fill this with recipes from the vintage community. So I received a series of recipe cards, the ones within reach. I got these 2 from Beth, Sweet Princess, Sweet Treats, Carolina Princess, Sweet Treats and Pretty. She even like the cool cards. I've got these from Carla Opp. She gave me some. They have like cool illustrations on them for zucchini bread. So these are all going to be going in there. I listed all of the resellers who I have cards from, and in some cases, Nate is trying to get us to make a full 18-course meal. So I had to print out the recipe. So
Nate souffle.
You'll get the folded Nate souffle. It says right on there, Soul Nate souffle recipe. So some of them will just get printed out and put on there. I printed out Jan Goodwin sent some. I printed hers out. They're not within reach, so I apologize. But I did, Jan, I just mentioned yours. So yes, so I printed those out. Those will all be in there. I just don't have them within reach because of the photographs. But I did put everyone that I had at the time of the listing. As more people send them, I will add to the listing, but then it goes in a separate comment section because I'm not allowed to change the listing of an active auction. So the people that are listed now will be forever listed, and then the others will go into like an extra comment section. It's the best I can do. And then during the live sale next week, when they all end, I will also read out all the people that gave me the recipes. Peterson gave me a bunch. But if you look at the
Did you
eBay
get
list,
one from me, Patrick?
I don't think I do have one from you.
You should have gotten a whole envelope of some from me. I hope they arrive soon.
Okay, yeah, I did not receive an envelope of recipes from you. But same thing. It's just like the boxes. They might just all be stuck in the post office, and we're waiting because everything was shipped first class mail. So that one, the auction is live now. It'll end next week. So as I get them over the next week, I'll be adding them. So that, and you'll still get the credit and everything. So I'm hoping that people, and it was a silly thing. It wasn't as popular as I had hoped. I think I confused people because I did the birthday thing too. And so people thought there was a vintage, like they didn't know what they were supposed to send. So it was just, I found a box. I thought it'd be kind of fun to fill it. And I am getting some cool things. It's just not going to be as full as I had hoped. But you know what? We still got a week. So maybe, and the push comes to shove at this point, if you haven't mailed one, I'm probably not going to get it. So you need to email it to me. Dear Angela's Vintage sent it to me via Instagram. So there are things I can print out. It won't be on the nifty little 3x5 card, but at least I can put something in there with your name. And I think hopefully it'll be fun if somebody from the vintage community purchases.
That's a hard word.
Yeah, like I didn't think it was a hard word till I tried to say it. All right, so that went live, and that was a starting bid of $10. And then there's this. This also just went live, and this is also for the Doxy. The magazine, the Pearsons, is actually mine. I scheduled it to go live when I realized, oh wait, this is going to end in the middle of the fundraiser, but I'd already done the photograph, so it went live. But all the rest of them, including this, because there's a dog down there. So I picked this up. This is a donation by me. I picked this up at probably the beginning of the year. And I just saw that little dog hanging out underneath the chair of this guy reading. I thought he might be Santa Claus, but I don't think he is. I think he's just reading in his chair. It's got this cool fireplace backdrop. It's signed by the artist, and more importantly, still has its original label in situ. So it's armor bronze, which are very valuable. What I never figured out was what the tag above it was. It ends in 48 or 43, but it's not a date. It came up as a better picture when I posted on eBay. I guess it's probably just a model number or something. I do only have the one. I guess these were sold as a pair. So I'm starting him at only $25. I don't know how much is going to affect the fact that there's only one of them, but just this one weighs 6 pounds by itself. So by the time I package it and put it in a box, we're talking about a 7-pound shipment. So just keep that in mind, and you can calculate your shipping based on, because it's in eBay, you'll be able to calculate the shipping. It's just heavy because it is bronze. It's in fantastic condition. It's just a really cool look. And I'm sorry, I love the dog. Like, that's just I couldn't pass him up. So
he kind of looks like Benjamin Franklin a little bit without the glasses, or Alexander Graham Bell with the beard.
Yeah, all of the references to this referred to this as being from the 20s, which maybe was when it's made, but you do not have a swing arm cauldron in the 20s. So this is definitely representing an older era than 1920, but I don't know what it is representing. So,
and Lucinda's asking if that's an edition number, as in limited.
Oh, maybe. I don't. It seems almost too casual to be a limited edition number. It might have been an edition number, but it's almost like it was just a stock number or something, because it literally is it's a very thin paper label that the other label's kind of coming through on the bottom of it. And it's just somebody wrote it in pen. So I don't know if it's important or not, but that's, like I said, if you look on the eBay listing, it's just with the lighting and with the webcam, it's not showing up very well. It shows a little bit better in the eBay listing, but it's just like, I think it's like a 4 and a dash and then a couple numbers after it. It just doesn't seem to mean anything, but it could. So very cool. It's like I said, it's a heavy piece, but it's just a very cool, whether you use it as a bookend or you just use it as a decorative piece on the shelf. It's just a nice, high quality bronze piece that you know what it is because you've got the original label on it.
That is gorgeous, Patrick.
And then there will be one more piece that goes live at 8 in 5 minutes. So I will show you that in a bit. Okay, which is also for the Doxies. And the next piece is highlighted. That was it. So the bookend was donated by me. What else did I show? Debbie from Chicago did the candlesticks. I bought the recipe box, but you guys are filling that in. So, okay, so that was those 4 items. The next item, speaking of recipes, season's a little bit over, but I would say in the South, maybe you'd still do it, but you're getting cold down there too. But I've got a little match set of recipe books of Barbecue Party Book by Paul Jones with recipes, dishes, drinks, songs, and games that you can play on your patio while having a picnic. So your patio picnic cookbook has some great illustrations in it, showcasing some of the recipes that are available. This one, I don't believe had a copyright number on it or copyright date. On the back, it says 3-59. So I'm thinking it was made in March of 1959, but that's a guess. Hey, Dee. So you've got the patio picnic recipe book and then the barbecue party book, which you could get these handy PJ cooking tools. Fill out the coupon inside cover and close $1 and receive this 3-piece barbecue cook set.
Look at that and that
wood
advertising
paneling piece that you could pick these up. Doesn't have a year on the copyright, but it's got Baltimore and Louisville, Kentucky. Grain spirits. I found the date somewhere. Oh yeah. So it had the coupon that you could fill in. It's still there, and the coupon itself expires in 1961. So this is from either 1960 or 1961. Same thing. Some fantastic graphics in here. Paul Jones chuck wagon. You've got the Paul Jones alcohol because it's the Paul Jones Roundup. Now, I've never heard of Paul Jones. I don't know if that's an East Coast thing. You can get the Paul Jones Whiskey Smash, Home on the Range Chili Dip, Paul Jones Bronco Buster, Chuck Wagon Steaks, Paul Jones Manhattan, frijoles and bean bake. Now, they threw the frijoles and bean bake, but then show a cocktail being made. So to wash down the frijoles and bean bake. Let's see, sours. The big one, that's the centerfold. So that's the center. So that's the only 2-page spread, but you can pop that out and frame that.
I love the hat on that guy.
Tamales and tortillas. So you just got some great little illustrations plus some great recipes. The 2 books together, you get for $6. They're light enough. They'll mail first class, easy enough. $6 by giving me number 42. $6.42 for the pair of barbecue patio cookbooks.
Those are fun, Patrick. And even though it's getting colder here in Florida, you definitely still can do some barbecuing because it's
never go wrong with barbecue.
70 here. And I see Chad Retro Days picking up number 42. He likes those cookbooks.
Awesome. And I can add that to your other shipment, and it won't add anything to the weight, so you won't pay anything more for them. All right. Next item we did a duo dive. Katie and I did a duo dive where she showed her tobacco tin collection. So I've got a tobacco tin. Now, what I do not have is Now King, because if you paid attention to her, the duo dive, these are relatively common with the Prince Albert in a can. There's the running joke, Prince Albert in a can. These are relatively common, but if this crimp cut is replaced by Now King, those were issued for a very short period of time, and so those are much more valuable. So always be on the lookout for Now King. But this one is one of the chest pocket, vest pocket styles. And the reason I picked it up was because I also found these little cool sets of cigarette papers. So this one is the it says use B&W cigarette papers, which I believe is the same logo as, was it Sir Walter? What was it called?
It's Sir Walter Raleigh. That's him. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the Sir Walter Raleigh tobacco. issued by the Brown Williamson Tobacco Corp of Louisville, Kentucky. It's got the tax stamp. It's still on there.
Is that a Series A tax stamp, Patrick?
This is from the state of Iowa. So it's in the shape of Iowa. So it's not a federal tax stamp. It's an Iowa tax stamp.
Gotcha.
And so this one is a set of papers. The papers are still there in their little pop-out holder. So you've got I don't know how you'd refill this, but it's got the gummed automatic papers, ready creased, easy to roll, can be pulled at a time. Can be pulled at a time.
I think it was supposed to be like one at a time.
I guess, yeah. No waste. So I just thought that was cool that they were still in their little packet. So this one came with it, and then the other one is registered Black Sea finest cigarette papers. It's just a really cool, great for your ephemeral.
Cool graphics, man.
And then it's got kind of like the Greek lettering and almost like Arabic lettering on the back, but again, the Iowa tax stamp. So just black and gold, super cool. And then when you open it, Arabic writing again, more cool graphics, Black Sea, qualite, surfine, registered. Look at the MS in the little laurel wreath. And then the papers are also still here. So this one doesn't have the cool little like dispenser, but the papers were all still there. So I just thought these were cool either for a ephemeral, for a Tobacciana collection, whatever it ends up being. I just thought these were fun. I got them at a pretty decent price, so I wanted to pass them off at a pretty decent price. So $15 for the tin, along with the 2 sets of cigarette papers. $15 by giving me number 56. $15, number 56 for the tin with the sets of paper.
That is a great little collection there, Patrick. And I love Prince Albert, even though he's relatively common. He's got some great graphics, a fun running joke, and you get all those cigarette papers, which I have not seen Sir Walter Raleigh on a cigarette paper before.
Oh, okay. Now, do you have cigarette papers in your collection too, or do you do them more because of the tins?
I do it more because of the tins, but I have to say I love anything with a good graphic, so I might have to start a new collection, which I don't need, but
exactly. All right. Next item, I gave the sneak peek. Let me pull this over. Show sneak peek again. I can't reach the tag. Here it is. Okay. So this is the item that I wanted to show last night and forgot. I do not know the maker. So if we've got some of the brilliant members of our vintage community in the chat that you recognize this, it does have the mold. So it is a pressed piece, but the mold seams are only remain on the base. There's no, they fire polished the edges. Now, this is the reason I had pulled this out. Well, I had it to sell, but the reason I pulled it out was because I wanted to ask, and I did ask Mary Beth and Laura before we started the chat. I did ask, would this be considered a swung glass vase, even though it doesn't have the fingers or the drips that are typically common to a big, swung glass? And they said, absolutely, it would, because it still would have been made the same way. It would have been molded into the mold to do the shape. And then while it was still hot, they would have released it upside down, still attached to the pontal, and swung it back and forth so that these would drip a little bit. And for whatever reason, and this is, I've seen others like this, it dripped, it sagged more than it dripped. So you still have it's not a clean cut. It's not like the whole thing was molded and it was cut off at a certain height. This is probably, this is probably a little shorter than some of the other ones that might have dripped a little bit more, that you'd find ones that all the bases lined up, but they would be a little bit slightly different height. But what I never got and never asked, and I don't know the answer to, is who made this one. So this style does not have the distinctive Viking pieces to it, like the epic line, like all the cool things that down the base. It's very simple, but it's beautiful. It's got an iridescence to it. It is not stretch. That is something I also clarified before we went online, and then I forgot before we went live, and I forgot to ask again. But it is a simpler version of a swung glass, but we all agreed it's still swung glass. But because it is not as elaborate as some of the others and does not have as big of a sexy swoop, Melody, $15. So $15 for the iridescent swung glass vase, $15 by giving me number 82. $15.82.
And Thrifting in the Holler is picking up number 56. So thank you, Mickey. I will have Patrick write that down.
Okay, thank you.
And that is a beautiful iridescent vase. I love the colors on it. Great for fall. Great in the center of your table with some dried flowers in it if you want to do something fun with that. Or in your swung glass vase collection.
All right. The next piece, and I meant to do it earlier, but I'll do it now. I have 2 more mystery boxes. So I'll do another pair of mystery boxes. So once again, you will definitely get a maxi pad. Works the same way though. You still have to guess the number. It's also $15. It'll be custom made for your shipping distance. $15 for this mystery box, and the number falls between 40 and 50. So the number falls between 40 and 50, and that will be the first 2 people that give this number will receive the next mystery box.
All right, let's see, folks. All these numbers are going to be coming in fast.
So proud Americans making puns.
Delbert's always keeping us laughing in the chat. And wow, the numbers are flying in all at the same time stamp. Oh, I already see one. Okay, folks. We need another one. Oh, wow. This is going fast. I always like to see this. This is fun. I like the way you do the mystery boxes. I think they're so fair, and it just gives everyone a chance to play along. And I see it again, but we got to wait for Mr. Nate in New Zealand.
Yes, I've seen it a few times.
He knows all. And I never want to mess up and say something because Nate always has the right answer in the chat.
Yeah, because they all have the same. All the ones that I see all have the same timestamp. So
yeah, they do. They come in really fast at the same timestamp. And Nate has spoken, and the mystery boxes go to Delbert,
45,
and Jerry. So Proud American and My Flea Market Treasures. Congrats, guys. You did it.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. And thank you, Delbert. Thank you for picking those up.
And the funny thing is, Delbert was the second run in the first round. Like he almost got it last time. So you finally got it, Delbert. Good job.
Excellent. All right. So that is mystery box. All right. So I'm almost done. Yeah, I only have one item left. I should have done the mystery box earlier, but that's okay. So I got one item left, and it's just out of shot. So let me give you a nice full screen of Katie.
And I see Michelle at Mermaid Cove coming in. So welcome. I'm so glad you're joining in. And Dina's here in the chat, and lots of other folks. So welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning into the sale. Just a quick reminder that if you are new to the sale, make sure you email Patrick with your information. And then, of course, if you still have a Trusty Traveler box, make sure you send that back to Patrick so we can get that for the dog fundraiser.
Excellent. All right. Then the last item is actually for the dogs as well. I just had it, for some reason, I had settings to the side. So this is a lot. This was donated by, so there are multiple people involved in this one. So one of them was donated by Sherry Hines, who has helped me live here. She is the Huckster handler.
And Deb would like number 82. Absolutely. It's still available. The swung glass.
Who would like it? I'm sorry.
Deb Riley.
All right. Thank you, Deb, for picking up the swung glass vase. All right. So this was a donation from Sherry Hines, the Huckster handler. She has a doxy herself. So she got this little bobblehead. It's just a plastic, but I'd say there's definitely some age to it based on the feel of the plastic. But the tail wags too, which I'd never seen a head bobber that also bobs the tail. So I thought that was kind of cool. So this is kind of like the kids lot, the toy lot. So there's that. This is also from Sherry Hines. So you got the little push button collapsible toy, which serves no purpose whatsoever other than just being cool. So you've got the little
That's a
dog.
fun little desk item, you know?
Yeah, it's like it was like the 70s version of the fidget spinner. It does have a name on the bottom, patent pending. It's made in China. TM. I don't know if that was the company. I don't know who would have made
Trusty
that.
mercantile.
There you go. So that is the little finger puppet. This one was either, because I have two of these, each has a different dog on the front. So this was either donated by Debbie from Chicago or by me. I can't remember which is which. I want to say this is the one that I donated because I think this is the older one. This came out of the box that I just found. So anyway, this is a Peter Pan. This one is a 45. It has a zip code, so it's after 1963. It was sold for 29 cents. And it is in what I thought was pretty good condition. Maybe a little surface scratch there. And you've got the red wagon on one side and that doggy in the window on the other side.
Oh, is that Patty Page?
This one is Peter Pan Orchestra and Chorus.
Okay, so they did a version of that.
They did their own
by
version
Patty
of it.
Page, but still a great song.
This one I believe I also donated. This is a soft cover, 5 True Dog Stories from Scholastic Book Service. It has, by Margaret Davidson, Dox, the greatest dog detective in the world, Grip, the dog who was a thief, Wolf, the dog who saves other dogs, Barry, the dog who saved people, and Balto, the dog who saved Gnome. Now there's a statue of Balto in Central Park.
Yes, I've seen it, and it is absolutely beautiful.
And that's him. That's the statue. So,
and there's a movie about Balto, I believe.
Is there?
Well, yeah, my best friend loves that movie. It's a great little historical piece.
So there are illustrations through this. And then the last one is another book. This is also donated by Sherry Hines. This is Benji and the Barking Dog. No, Barking Bird. I'm sorry. Benji and the Barking Bird. So I think Benji is the dog. And then there's the Barking Bird by Margaret Beloy Graham. So this one has some great illustrations. This one is not a first edition. This was a book club edition. But that does not change the awesome artwork that's running through this. It's actually in a really good condition considering the age. It is copyrighted 1971. So some great illustrations throughout that. So you get the hardcover book, the softcover book, the doggy in the window record with the cool graphics on the cover, the bobblehead Doxy, and the collapsing finger toy dog. So all 5 items you get, all of the money is going to the Doxy rescue. You get all 5 items in the lot for $25. So $25 for the lot of dog items by giving me number 61. $25.61 for the lot of 5 items.
That is such a fun lot. And I have a bird hospital here in town that I take Louie to for her veterinarian care, because they do dogs too. And the lady that is our veterinarian has taken care of pugs for years. So she's very good with Louie. But I used to go also for my guinea pigs, and they have a bird named Kermit. And Kermit is hilarious because Kermit, when you take Louie in, the bird will meow like a cat and then will hide under the newspaper and yell, dog, dog, and then meow, meow. It's hilarious to watch. It's the best thing ever.
That is awesome.
And
that was it. Those are my last items. So I had 2 things that didn't sell. That last lot of the dog items and the set of records, the children's records of the Caldecott winner and the weather book. So the weather record and the flexi disc, those were $7. Number 8. And the lot of Doxy items, dog items for the Doxy fundraiser was $25, number 60.
And do you have one more item going live on eBay, Patrick?
Yes, I do. Thank you, because it's the best one. Hold on. Let me give Katie the full screen for a second.
Yes, I should record that, Lucinda, because it's hilarious to watch. Every time I bring Louie in, it just cracks me up. It's amazing to me how smart birds are. You know, they can repeat words, and even my best friend Frank, his dad has an African gray, and that dog, that bird, is so smart that it knows when his dad is angry or upset, and it will start doing all kinds of different things. So it's just really hilarious. I love hearing about those birds and how intelligent they are. Oh no, you're not the only one, Mary, that takes guinea pigs to the vet.
So there you go. That is the last item. So this was donated by Melody and Halem from their trip to Oktoberfest in Cincinnati. It is a Doxy wearing a mask hat.
That is an epic hat.
So I will be wearing this hat during the sale next week, and it will go, the auction is live now, and whoever wins it will get this hat. I will ship it after the sale. And if you choose to, I can autograph it if you would like. I don't know if anyone wants my autograph, but you know, if you want something specifically from the sale, I will autograph it. So you've got a Dachshund in a German hat, wearing a mask, 3-dimensional. So thank you so much to Halem and to Melody for shipping this to me. And we'll see if he stays upright throughout the entire sale. But for now, I'm going to have to adjust the thing so you can see him. He had to look up. But that will be my headgear for the sale. So that is the 5th item that is for sale. So those 5 items are all live right now. The sale will end next week during the live sale. Katie, do you remember at the beginning of the sale, did I talk about the Trusty Travelers?
You did, but if you want to mention them again, that's
so I apologize, because I also talked about them on Beth's sale, so I couldn't remember what I'd done. So at this point, because so many of the Trusty Travelers are missing, I'm hoping to give a little bit more time for them to show up. So if you know who has a Trusty Traveler, put a little fire under their butts to get those shipped back to me at some point, hopefully still within the month of November. I will put them on. I will open them. I'll do some sort of unboxing. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, but I will do some sort of level of putting them all together and making a auction item on eBay. It was supposed to go live tonight, so it would have ended next week, but obviously with only 9 out of 21, I didn't want to do that. So I will wait. But if you know who has a Trusty Traveler, definitely let them know, and I will be collecting those. And as I've already mentioned, the item that's on live right now, the recipe box, it's a little too late to mail me recipes. If they're not already in the mail, it's unlikely I will get them. And this will leave my possession right after the sale. So I really won't be able to hang around. So, but if you want to email me the recipe. I will just print it on a regular piece of paper and just fold it up and put it in the box. So I'll still get your name on it and everything, but that's the best I can do. But I still would like to see that box filled. So if you are interested in participating, particularly now that all you have to do is email it to me, it's kind of free. You just have to take the time to write it out. But that is asking
if the sponsorship opportunities will be available during next week's sale.
Yes, we will pull the winners of the mystery boxes at the very end of the sale. I have committed to Nancy and my own sanity that the sale will not run longer than 3 hours. My goal is not to have it run longer than 2 hours. So what probably will end up happening is at 10 p.m. Eastern is probably when we will cut off donations, and that's when we will pull the winners. And it's going to take some time because at this point, we already have at least 6 winners, if not 7 winners. And each winner, I will have to pull the 5 mystery box, the donors, so that you will know whose boxes you're going to get. But more importantly, I need to then keep track, because then I have to go back to the 35 donors and say, okay, you 5 send to this person, you 5 send to that person. So it's going to take us a little while to do it. So I will put some stuff on my Instagram. I will probably do some more videos during the week, but definitely you'll still be able to make donations during the sale on Thursday. And also I will probably just commit, say 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday because I know I've got a triptych coming up on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I know it will not be very long because it's a very specific topic, and I did that on purpose. So I will have probably like an hour-long triptych on Abington pottery, but probably at 10 p.m. Eastern, I will schedule, and I'll put that in my YouTube. I will schedule a live chat, which will be Name That Breed, because I have an entire box full of dog donations. I can't figure out what they are. So I'm just going to bring them on live, bring them on screen, and just like, hey, what does this look like? And I do have a lot of them identified. Some of them might be mutts, and that's totally fine. But if it's if it's an actual AKC breed, I want to give credit to it, because then as I promote it, I might get more people interested. And I'll be putting stuff on Instagram, all of that fun stuff. So that'll be Sunday night. And then I'll be doing probably more videos. I've got stuff that I got donated. I haven't done a haul video yet. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff coming out. So, but yeah,
awesome. That will be fantastic, Patrick.
Yes. So we're looking forward to that. So the fundraiser itself will take part as my sale next week. So next Thursday, November 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern, the entire sale will be dedicated to Just One More Dachshund, where I will be selling all of the items, well, almost all of the items that have been donated that haven't gone up on eBay or that I'm not pushing later. There will be themed mystery boxes. There will be random mystery boxes. That's how I'm going to get through some of it, is just by doing mystery boxes. I'm trying to do as much as I can. I want to make as much money as possible, but I also have to be practical. I can't do this for the next 3 months. So to a certain extent, I had so many donations, some things are going to get merged together, but that's what I'm doing. Oh, and then Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, I better write that down because I'm not going to remember. That's what I said. So we'll say at 10 p.m. Eastern will be the Name That Breed, and anybody that is available to just pop in. I will literally be showing, most of them are figurines, although I've got a couple of books, I think, that I'm going to show it, and we're going to take a consensus and say, okay, it's a Springer Spaniel, it's a Cocker Spaniel, it's a Pointer, it's a whatever. I'm going to take what the consensus is, and then that's how I'll sell it.
It sounds like a game show. Name That.
And I want it to be fun. I want it to be like a game show because I need it. I need the help, and I really just don't have the luxury of time at this point. Everybody came back when I misidentified the boxer. Everybody came back like, no, that's not a boxer. That's a Boston Terrier. Okay, you're right. I messed up. I can't do videos on all of them. So at some point, it's just going to be like a really quickie. What is this? And then moving on. So.
And yes, thank you everyone for supporting the dogs. Yeah. They have a lot of care and a lot of medical bills, and they really do need our help.
Yep. So that is it for the evening. So the only thing that was left was the records and then the little toy lot, if anyone wanted to pick those up at the last minute. That is my sale for the evening. So for those of you, and there were a couple, for those of you who purchased at Beth's sale, I will combine shipping. So I will do one invoice for both sales from tonight. So don't worry about that. And I will try and get invoices out by Saturday. So if you don't see them on Sunday, let me know. I'm trying to get myself back into a regular habit and get all of this stuff out of here before the big sale happens Thursday. Because at this point, I'm almost literally cannot walk through my living room. I can't walk through it normally. I have to like kind of weave through and not trip over anything. So I've got, there's non-dog stuff too. So if you're not like super into the dogs, I've got a Bleak Creamer and Sugar. I've got picture frames. I've got all. Oh yeah, the picture frame was supposed to go live tonight. Oops, forgot to take the picture. We'll figure those out. But anyway, I've got all kinds of non-dog stuff too. So it'll just be, and hopefully we'll have fun. So
always looking forward to it, Patrick.
And we thank you, Dawn. We're like, we appreciate that you're thanking us, but what you do, I couldn't do what you do. I literally could not do what you do. It would be emotionally too draining. It would just be I couldn't do it. So the fact that you actually have that kind of heart and that you're taking care of that many dogs with that many health issues, I hope we can give you some money to make it through at least a couple dogs, trying to help the charity. And then for those of you who don't follow Dawn, it's the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. They have merch. They've got all kinds of stuff. Dawn will be part of the chat next week. Maybe she'll show us some merch. We won't be selling it on mine. Yeah, that would get too complicated, but you can buy that kind of stuff directly from her when she does her promotions. So just make sure you're following her too. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she's on Facebook and on Instagram, and she does have a website, but I'll just tell you, unless you want to cry for like an hour.
Oh, I've been on the website. It's so heart-wrenching.
I'm like, yeah, we're done. I'm not ever opening this website again. So it's reality. So it's harsh, but it is what it is, and it's what they're dealing with. So I'm just happy I can be a small part of this and a conduit to try and bring some money. And we hopefully will get some more donations this year, and maybe we can outdo what we did last year. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for all your time. So it sounded like Nancy said she's not having a sale, but she's having like an unboxing or something. So that's at
11 p.m.
That's still okay. That's at 11 p.m. Eastern. So definitely jump onto her channel in an hour. Until then, I get to go grab some dinner. So thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Talk to you guys later.
Bye, friends.